Okay, thank you so much, Sema, for inviting me. And hello to Neris, and I was getting Neris' voice. And hello to Solomon Ray, and hello to everybody. And I hope that internet will not disturb us. And can you still hear me? I hope people can still hear me.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. So quickly, I'm going to talk about.
Okay. All right. Good.
I'm going to talk about
I'm going to talk about
four key things when it comes to.
four things when it comes to.
There's some echo.
There's some echo.
Hello?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So I'll talk about four key things when it comes to financial sustainability, which I think that when you can sort that out, I strongly believe that you can experience financial stability and, of course, experience that sustainable growth. And the first thing I will talk about is value creation. There is no way you can talk about making money when you don't have the ability to create value. I always like to say that nobody pays for talent, nobody pays for passion, nobody pays for your purpose. People pay for a skill that can create value. So, because you are fluent in speaking doesn't mean that you are skillful in solving business problems to get paid as a business consultant, for example. Because you can sing while you're taking a shower, or because you can sing while you are doing dishes, doesn't mean that you're a professional musician. That talent needs to be converted into a payable skill that can make somebody to actually pay you. Right? That's why it's possible to see people that can do songs in the quarters and it ends up in the memory cards of friends and family members, and nobody gets to buy it. Because it takes some level of skill for you to actually convert that to another level into something somebody can pay. So when you are talking about financial freedom and financial sustainability, ask yourself, what value do you have that somebody can exchange and give you money? Value is a currency, and somebody needs your value to be able to give you money. And the second part is monetization. For every value that you create, you should be able to find a way to monetize it. How can you put a price tag to it? Because no matter how good you are, if nobody can pay you for a service, you're going to die a poor person. But you are good. There are people that are very good at things, but they cannot monetize it. They cannot be able to put a price at what they do. And it takes a lot of knowledge about the industry, about what people are willing to pay for. It takes a lot of knowledge about the income level of the target market that they're looking at. And the third thing, when it comes to value, making money, is expression. Value expression. We have talked about value creation, value monetization, and value expression. I always like to say, if you take away value expression from anything, you're going to be a very poor person. Why? Because if you sit on an interview panel to get a job, and if you cannot express yourself very well, you cannot express your competence, you cannot express your skills, you cannot express your experience, you will not be recruited. So that ability to sit in an interview and talk efficiently and express yourself very well is a skill. It's value expression. And from there you can be recruited and you get paid for the value that you create for the business. If you run a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, and you don't understand the art of marketing and sales, I always say that if you are in business and you don't like marketing and sales, go and get a job. Business is not for you. If you don't like value expression, you cannot communicate to me. You cannot make Selma to understand what you're selling. You cannot make Ray to understand what you're selling. How do you expect them to give you money? Because for somebody to give you money, they need to know you, like you, trust you before they give you money. And that's what a good value expression framework should do. It should make people to like what you do. Make them to know you, make them to trust you, and make them to desire to give you money in exchange for the value that you can do. And the last part of it I want to talk about is mass commercialization. In whatever that you do, this is especially for business people right now. If you really want to experience a certain level of financial sustainability as a business person, you need to master the art of mass commercialization. How can you get the value that you are creating to many people? That's why when you talk to an investor to invest money in your business, they would like to ask you the question, what is the size of your market? How many people are you targeting in that market? You know, we always say that it is hard to become a billionaire in dollars in Cameroon. Do you know why? Because the market is small. That's why Nigeria can have a lot of billionaires in dollars, because it's a large market. I'm just giving a scenario here to explain the size, the power of numbers. In a market like Nigeria, everything is always in short supply because the population is massive. But in Cameroon, in less than a year, you can saturate the whole market. It's possible. People are doing that. But if you master the art of mass commercialization, if you sell only in your village, you'll never be rich. If you sell only in your town, you'll never be rich. If you sell only in your region, you'll never be rich. You need to stretch it. You need to go further. Learn how to enter uncharted territories, enter new markets, dominate the market, and you're going to win. So if you take all of these 4 key elements and go deeper, practice it, and begin to stretch yourself further, trust me, you're going to see a lot of results. Today, something was happening in the office where I was talking to one of my team members, and I was sharing with him, he wasn't in the training department, so I was sharing with him something I started doing in October. In October, I challenged myself to do something. I said from October till maybe for the next how many time I can remember, I'm going to challenge myself that I'm going to make at least 5,000 francs every day from the things I create. Either I'm selling a book, I'm selling a course, I'm selling something, but my challenge to myself is I want to make at least 5,000 francs every day. And from that October to today, there's no day I've made less than 5,000 francs every day. And I started doing that. I just published a book known as the Ground Rules for Wealth Creation for Young People, because there are some things I've written in the book that I'm practicing myself. I'm trying to prove that some of these things, when it comes to wealth creation for young people, especially between 18 years and 25 years, there are some things that if you do them right, you can always experience financial sustainability. But I want to take you to point number 1. In whatever you do, in all thy getting, get skills, get competence, develop the ability to create value, and start discovering the process, the framework that can convert that value into monetizable package that people can be willing to pay for it. And if you are able to get that, and you have a big heart, a big business heart, then you can stretch forward and start thinking about mass commercialization. How do I live from selling only to my village people to selling to the whole country? How do I live from selling only to my family members to selling to the whole continent? And mass commercialization can take you 10 years, 5 years, 4 years. But if you have that long-term dream that, you know what, I am targeting to sell to a large number of people, you will always get it. Because if the value is good, people will always want that particular value. So that is it from my end. If there are any questions, I can take it.
Thank you so much, Joybert. Like I told you guys, he was going to be sharing a lot of very practical things. So I'm going to be coming back to Joybert maybe with one more question. Just one more question. Okay, so Joybert's online.
Yes.
Yeah. So Joybert, I have one more question for you, and then perhaps before we do the take-home messages, we'll get 2 questions from the audience for the panelists. My question is, you spoke about creating value, monetizing value, expressing value, and mass communicating or mass commercializing value. And that makes a lot of sense to me as one who has been doing that. But we live in a world where, like I said at the beginning, everyone has the mic, nobody has the earpiece. When you get on Facebook, everybody's selling something to you. You know, probably in the hall there are people who have some form of skill, and you have inspired them to go, you know, sell it or to monetize it. How do I distinguish myself in the global, very large and vast marketplace? Say I'm a translator, for example, and I go on Upwork or I go on Facebook, and there are so many people who do the same thing like me. How do I distinguish myself so that I stand out and be able to actually create, money or make money for myself or be more financially sustainable?
Yeah, that's very true. We are in the most competitive marketplace ever, and actually distinguishing ourselves in the marketplace is not as complex as people think. It is going back to the basics. If you want to stand out right now in the marketplace, go back to the basics. And the basics talks about originality. Find your originality. There is no way you're going to compete in a market if you keep trying to copy what other people are doing. Go back, discover your style, discover your originality. How do you do your own things? How do you create your own value? What speaks to you more? Tell me about your experiences. What did you go through? Go back to your originality. That's very important. Because if you keep focusing a lot more on what others are doing in the marketplace, you are going to focus on copying instead of creating a lot of value from your own originality. The second perspective about being able to stand out is, instead of focusing on the competition, focus on the people you are serving. Your main goal should be, how do I serve these people in a way that they cannot ignore me? That is where customer experience came in. What kind of experience can I create when I am serving people with the value that I'm creating? This is very important. So before you start looking at, oh, this guy is doing this thing like this and that and that, you need to focus first on the market that you're supposed to serve. So after you have paid attention and discovered your originality, start focusing on serving that market in an excellent way. The third thing when it comes to standing out is, make sure that you are improving as a person. Make sure that you are improving your operation systems. Make sure that you are improving your product or your services. Make sure that you are improving anything that has to do with your ability to serve. It's very important. Make sure you do that. I would like to say that today's Monday. I would like to say that if you enter tomorrow Tuesday, the same person you are today Monday, you are a disappointment to Wednesday. What does that mean? It is your responsibility to make sure that you improve on a daily basis, especially if you're in business. You have to improve on yourself. If you enter tomorrow the same person you are today, you are just an embarrassment to your Wednesday. You are an embarrassment to your own future. And many people don't like to improve because it takes sacrifice, it takes hard work, it takes a lot of inconveniences to improve. And let me tell you something, if you are able just to improve only by 1% every day, at the end of the month you must have improved your life by 30%. And I can bet you that majority of the world's population, they don't want to pay the price to improve. The human body is designed to be lazy. So they are pushed to watch television, they are pushed to sleep too much, they are pushed to gossip around, they are pushed to be lazy, so they don't want to do what other people. That's why we keep having very few people that get to reach at the pinnacle of their lives. They get to exhaust their potentials and be so significant and dominant in their field because only a few people are willing to pay the price to improve. You want to stand out, do what others are not willing to do in your industry. Outwork, outperform, outresult, be the hardest worker in the industry. Not because you are competing, but because you want to outwork your yesterday's self. You want to outperform your yesterday's performance. With that alone, you get to stand out. You get to stand out, you get to win. In the work that I do, I have no doubt I'm one of the best in the continent. I have no doubt. I don't need anybody's permission. I know that. But see, I don't care what anybody's doing. My job is to beat my yesterday's self. My job is to beat my yesterday's result. My job is to beat 2021 results and double them this year. My job is to serve my clients in an excellent way. My job is to tell the staff, upgrade the staff, and tell them, hey, this year we are not repeating average performance like we did last year. This year is a different ball game. That is my job. And when we do that, automatically we start performing better and standing out and attracting people. And the law of attraction start coming in. When you are excellent, you are good at what you do, you are doing your part as far as you're concerned, something always comes towards your direction that likes to meet up with the kind of hard work. I would like to say that there is a special grace of success. There's this special grace and favor regarding success that is released upon everyone that corresponds to the level of hard work you are willing to put into the work that you do. So if I believe you do these things, I'm not saying out of assumption, these are things I do personally. Because remember, I accepted that it's a very competitive marketplace. Very, very competitive. But don't bother about competition that much. Focus on these things. And when you do that, trust me, you handle competition stress-free, effortlessly, without having pressure that, oh, this guy is performing better than me.
Wow, thank you so much. I think we can give him a big hand. Because Mr. Javnyuy Joybert said, find yourself, be authentic, focus on your audience or your market, and deliver excellence. He said, improve consistently and do what others are not willing to do. Now, if you forgot everything in this session, make sure you remember these take-home messages.
Hello again, Javnyuy Joybert here. Thank you for following that session. I hope that you were inspired, you were challenged, and you were pushed to become better. You can follow me on all social media platforms, javnyuyjoybert.com, or you can visit my website, javnyuyjoybert.com. Again, of course, social media, just my two names, and then my website. And let's stay in touch. You can check all my social media platforms to buy my video courses, my books that will transform you, stretch you, and push you into greatness. Keep shining, keep winning. Remember, you are rare, you are remarkable.